I prevented hair loss and it's much easier than you think. This is something doctors do not want you to know, so keep watching. If you're watching this, you're probably worried about hair loss because the time you notice thinning, about 50% of your hair has been lost. But today we're gonna go over everything you can do to prevent hair loss. And if you're worried about hair loss, about 50% of people, both men and women, suffer from some sort of hair loss before the age of 40, which is a shocking statistic. But don't worry, today we're gonna go over exactly what you can do to stop hair loss in its track before it's too late. So let's get into it. Why hair loss happens? The real reason why hair loss happens is a mix of multiple reasons: hormones, stress, nutritional deficiencies. So let's break it down. DHT and hair loss is one of the key causes of hair loss. It's a genetic disposition, so if you are sensitive to hair loss, then you'll have a gene that makes you more susceptible to DHT. Now, DHT is the hormone that causes hair loss. Free-floating testosterone gets converted through an enzyme called 5-alpha reductase to DHT, which is the hormone that binds to hair follicles, miniaturizes, restricts blood flow, restricts oxygen, restricts nutrients, which then miniaturizes the hair. Stress and cortisol has been shown in studies to be a leading factor in hair loss. Cortisol spikes and excessive shedding happens. It stops the hair growth cycle in its tracks and you get more hair fall in the shower, in your pillow, and it can even cause vicious cycle of stress because as you're losing hair, your stress levels are rising. Nutritional deficiencies are another cause of hair loss. Iron, zinc, magnesium, biotin, protein, all of these deficiencies weakens hair. And in women specifically, iron is the leading cause of hair loss because as women, we have menstruation and we lose a lot of iron through that process. Iron and ferritin is stored in the hair follicle. And hair is not a vital organ, so the first places that your body will start to deplete ferritin levels is in the hair follicle. But guess what? Iron is one of the hardest nutritional deficiencies to fix, but don't worry, I will be speaking about it in this video, exactly how to treat hair loss, and no, it's not taking more iron. So now we're going to be talking about the 5 proven ways to prevent hair loss. The first step is to block DHT naturally. Everything is inner wellness. You have to treat inside before you can treat anything topically. Over-the-counter drugs like finasteride is a DHT blocker, but it has so many side effects. You have to take it for the rest of your life and it can cause impotency and a whole host of complications. So that's a big no from me. The ways to block DHT naturally is using saw palmetto, nettle root, red clover, licorice root, spearmint tea. All of these herbs help to block DHT naturally, as well as pumpkin seed oil. Now, my tea has nettle root, elderberry, currant, hibiscus, and red clover. Tea has been shown to be a very beneficial addition to your hair growth regimen to prevent hair loss. You can also take red reishi and saw palmetto. Red reishi has been shown as the best functional mushroom to treat excess DHT and reduces the enzyme 5-alpha reductase, remember, which is what causes testosterone to convert to DHT. The other natural way that you can stop DHT naturally is using scalp massages. Scalp massages helps to relieve tension and it helps to block DHT at the root. Also, it's really important to know that sebum carries DHT, so you should be washing your hair more frequently. And I like to use my scalp scrub because it has bentonite clay, it draws out impurities, it has coffee granules to get rid of that layer. If you're letting sebum sit on your scalp, then you are creating more opportunity for your hair to miniaturize. 2, reducing cortisol, reducing your stress. The stress hormone is a pesky hormone and it can do a lot of damage. A lot of people do not realize the effect of stress on hair. It is a very difficult journey to treat stress, but you should be incorporating things like meditation, being in nature, walking, journaling. I like to journal every single morning, get rid of all of my streams of consciousness, the monkey mind. I like to take adaptogens. I drink my tea. It's a mindful ritual. I take the time for myself. I like to do ritualistic practices just for me to anchor myself in the present moment. Reading, speaking to friends. You should be doing at least one of these things every single day. Going to the gym, exercising. Weightlifting is one of the best ways to reduce your cortisol levels. So gymming is 100% 100% yes from me. Also sleep, and it's harder said than done, but having a good nighttime routine, taking a hair growth tea at night to help aid digestion, the warm feeling of the tea, and no phones for at least 1 hour before bed, and making sure that when you wake up you get a lot of sunlight in your eyes straight away. Don't go on your phone. These little tricks and hacks can help to reduce your stress and therefore your hair loss. 3, getting the right nutrients. Again, it's all about inner wellness. You want to have at least 1 gram of protein for every kilogram of weight. If you weigh 70 kilograms, you need to have at least 70 grams of protein a day, and that's just the bare minimum. So you should be having protein in every single meal: eggs, chicken, meat. If you have a nutritional deficiency, you should be supplementing with that specific nutrient. Now with iron, it's a little bit more difficult because iron is extremely hard to absorb. So the best way to get more iron in your body is to first supplement with iron, but you need to take whole food vitamin C, omega-3s and omega-6. This helps to transport the iron effectively in your bloodstream, because when you just take iron by itself, you're not going to get the same bioavailability as if you take it with whole food vitamin C and the omega-3 and 6 to help it get transported. The other thing is supplementation at the moment with iron is quite difficult. So if you can have beef organs, I know that sometimes is a little bit tricky for some if you're vegan or vegetarian, but if you can get a beef organ supplement, that's going to be a lot better than if you just took normal ferritin and iron. Additionally, if you are drinking tea, cheese, coffee while you're taking your iron, that's going to stop the iron from being absorbed. 4th, scalp health is key. Now, the scalp is the key to hair growth. You want to stimulate it in every capacity through microneedling, through scalp massages, through using a rose quartz scalp comb like the one I have right now, through proper cleansing, using a proper scalp scrub, a natural scalp scrub to exfoliate the scalp, using topical treatments like my Essence Scalp Mist, which is infused with turmeric stem cells. You want to be feeding your hair nutrients. I also have a scalp balm and a hair oil, and you want to be using all of these topical treatments to really promote hair growth. And again, I really recommend organic, natural. I stay away from chemicals, but at the same time, I look at scientific studies to pick the ingredients in all of my products. 5, stop using these hair damaging products. Sulfates, silicones, parabens, gels, hairspray, styling products, anything that is going to block your hair follicles, you should just stay away from. And I know for guys it's difficult because you want to put gel, you want to put styling products. For at least a year, give it a go and go completely free from any topical things, including the fibers as well. I don't agree with topical fibers because you're just blocking the hair follicle. You want to keep your scalp nice and clean, exfoliated, hydrated, nutriently dense. So avoid all of those, including hair dye. I'm sorry girls, it's just not worth it. If you want to try some of the things that have been working for me, I've linked them in the description, and you can use my code how to prevent hair loss for 10% off. When I realized hormones were a key part of hair loss, I knew I had to develop a tea. I knew that there wasn't anything out there, and if you don't buy my tea, that's okay, as long as you're buying organic, really whole quality ingredients, because we don't use dust, we use the full leaf, the full plant, and also plastic free, biodegradable. We don't use any plastic in or nylon fibers in our hair teas, which is really important. We want to save the planet. We also want to be better for your inner health. But remember, just make sure you're using really high quality herbs and ingredients in all of your products. The final takeaway is that hair loss isn't just about what you put inside or outside. It's about what's happening inside of you, inside of your body, inside of your mind. If you take one thing from this video, just start. Your future self will thank you. Try one of these tips, let me know in the comments, and I'll reply to as many as I can. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!